You're at your parents' house for dinner, 36 years old. Your mom casually mentions they bought this house when she was 27. Your dad adds they'd been married 2 years, saved up, just seemed like the right time. You nod and smile, but internally you're doing the math. You make more than they did. You've been saving, you're careful with money, and you're still nowhere close. You drive home to your rental feeling like you've fundamentally failed at being an adult. Sound familiar? Maybe it's not your parents' dinner table. Maybe it's a cousin's housewarming party. Or scrolling Instagram seeing another engagement photo in front of a sold sign from someone 3 years younger than you. The message is always the same. You're late. You're behind. Something is wrong with you. I'm Dan. I sat in that same rental apartment at 35, doing the exact same math, convinced I'd missed some critical adulting deadline. And I'm going to show you why that feeling is based on a lie. Subscribe if you want honest content about fatherhood and life transitions without the Instagram filter nonsense. Here's what nobody's telling you. The average first-time home buyer in America is now 37 years old, not 27 like your parents' generation. 37. In expensive markets like San Francisco, Los Angeles, Seattle, and Boston, that number climbs to 41 or 42. If you're 36 and haven't bought yet, you're not behind the curve. You're on it. You're exactly where the numbers say you should be. But let me show you why this happened. In 1985, the median home price was $75,500. Median household income was $27,735. Required down payment was $15,100. At a 10% savings rate, that's 5.4 years to save. But most people saved more aggressively and hit it in 3 years. First purchase at age 26 to 28. The home price to income ratio was 2.7 to 1. Your parents needed to save roughly half a year of income for the down payment. Now here's 2026. Median home price is $417,000. Median household income is $81,000. Required down payment when you include closing costs is $91,740. At that same 10% savings rate, that's 11.3 years. But here's the brutal truth. Most people can't save 10% anymore because rent ate the margin. In 1985, median rent was 23% of income. In 2026, it's 35%. After paying 35% to rent, saving 10% becomes saving 3 to 5%. That stretches the timeline to 13 to 18 years. This explains why the age jumped from 27 to 37. You're being asked to save while paying 35% to rent instead of your parents, 23%. You're not less disciplined. The game changed. Let me show you what this looks like with real numbers. We'll take a $450,000 home. That's the national median for first-time buyers right now. A down payment at 20% to avoid PMI is $90,000. Closing costs at another $15,750. You need $105,750 before you get the keys. Now the monthly costs. Your mortgage payment at 7% interest is $2,395. Property tax is $413 per month. Homeowner's insurance is $208. Maintenance reserve, and you absolutely need this, is $375 per month. HOA, if applicable, is $150. Total monthly cost is $3,541. Here's where it gets insane. To afford this at a 28% debt-to-income ratio, you need $151,900 in annual household income. The median household income in America is $81,000. The median household cannot afford the median first-time home. They're $48,000 to $71,000 short. The system is selling homes to people who mathematically cannot sustain them. But let me show you what this looks like for a real household doing everything right. Meet Marcus and Jennifer, both 34, combined income of $135,000. Well above the median. Marcus is a software engineer. Jennifer teaches high school. They live in Austin. They have one toddler. Both have student loans. Their friends consider them successful. Here's their monthly budget. Combined take-home after taxes and retirement contributions is $8,100. Rent for a one-bedroom is $2,100. Student loans are $680. Car payments are $545. Car insurance is $285. Health insurance after employer coverage is $320. Groceries are $650. Utilities $180. Phone $140. Gas $240. Childcare for their toddler is $1,200. Essentials total $6,340. They have $1,760 remaining. They're saving $1,500 per month for that down payment. That leaves them $260 for everything else. No restaurants, no vacations, no emergency cushion. At that rate, 70 months, almost 6 years of perfect execution. They started at 29, they'll buy at 35, exactly matching the national average. Here's what that feels like day to day. It feels like Jennifer doing a calculation every time a friend announces a pregnancy. That's $1,200 per month we'd lose in childcare, pushing our purchase back 2 years. We can't have another child until we buy, and we can't buy until I'm 35. It feels like Mark is checking home prices every week, watching the target move further away despite getting raises. It feels like the RSVP calculation for weddings. $800 total cost equals half a month savings equals a 1-month delay. It feels like guilt taking their toddler to a birthday party and spending $25 on a gift. The math has colonized every decision, and here's who profits from your confusion. The real estate industry consistently uses age range 25 to 29 in their advertising. You see those ads with young couples holding keys, and your brain registers that as normal, as what you should have achieved by now. But it's not reality, it's marketing. Mortgage lenders benefit from FOMO-driven purchases with inadequate down payments, because PMI is pure profit for them and zero benefit for you. The rent is throwing money away. Narrative is pushed by everyone who profits from transactions. But here's the trap. Buyers stretching to barely afford entry become locked in households. Unable to move. Unable to negotiate better jobs across the country. Unable to absorb financial shocks. The system doesn't want informed, patient buyers. It wants captured households making maximum payments for 30 years. Now let me show you how these timelines stretch in expensive markets. In San Francisco, the median first-time home is $920,000. Required down payment is $207,000. At $150,000 household income and a 10% savings rate, that's 13.8 years. Start saving at 25, buy at 39. In Seattle, $720,000 homes require $158,400 down. 11.7 years. This is why the average climbs to 41 or 42 in these markets. It's not lifestyle choices, it's mathematical impossibility for median earners. Quick comparison. In Cleveland, the median first-time home is $215,000. Down payment is $47,325. Is 6.2 years to save. The market determines your timeline more than your discipline does. Let me give you permission to do something radical. You can choose not to play this game. If you're 36 and haven't bought yet, the math says you're exactly on schedule, possibly ahead if you're in an expensive market. Your parents at 27 weren't more disciplined. They weren't more mature. They weren't better with money. They were asked to save in a completely different economic environment. You're not late. The game changed without announcement. Here's your warning threshold. If total monthly housing cost exceeds 40% of your gross income, you cannot afford that home. I don't care what the lender approves. Lenders approve maximum debt loads because they profit from maximum debt loads. Their approval is not a blessing. It's a business decision about their risk tolerance, not yours. If reaching the down payment requires more than 10 years of disciplined saving, the market is telling you it's not designed for your income level, and that's okay. You have alternatives. Renting in expensive markets while investing 20% of income in index funds historically produces comparable wealth to home equity. Geographic arbitrage, moving to markets where median income can actually afford the median home, is a valid strategy. Waiting until your income increases through career advancement rather than buying at maximum capacity gives you options. Household mobility for job opportunities often generates more wealth than home equity ever will. Not buying when the math doesn't work isn't failure. It's financial literacy. You're not late to adulthood. You've correctly diagnosed a broken system. Your hesitation isn't weakness. It's mathematics. Your parents bought at 27 because a house cost 2.7 times their income, and rent took 23% of their paycheck. You're 36 or 37 because a house costs 5.1 times your income, and rent takes 35%. The brutal math added 10 years to the timeline. You didn't fail. You responded correctly to changed economics. When you see someone younger buying, you're seeing one of three things. Parental help, whether that's a down payment gift or co-signing that nobody mentions. Dual high-income household, usually two people in tech or finance, which is not the median experience. Or someone stretching to a dangerous debt level who'll be house poor and financially fragile for years. You're not seeing normal. You're seeing outliers amplified by social media while the 37-year-old median stays hidden. So here's what I need you to understand. If you're running the numbers and they don't work, you're doing it right. If you're hesitating because the monthly cost would eat 45% of your income, you're doing it right. If you're choosing to rent and invest instead, you're doing it right. If you're waiting for your income to catch up to housing costs rather than stretching to the breaking point, you're doing it right. You're not behind. You're literate. You've read a system that now requires 13 years of saving instead of 3. That expects you to pay 35% to rent while accumulating 5 times your annual income instead of 2.7 times. The age shifted from 27 to 37 because the mathematics shifted. You're exactly where the numbers say you should be. Your parents at 27 weren't more disciplined, more mature, or better with money. They played a different game with different rules. You're playing the game that actually exists in 2026. And the fact that you're questioning whether you can afford it means you understand what affordability actually requires. That's not failure. That's wisdom.